Well, hi there, and welcome back to a little bit of Hardcore Grim Dawn QuestySparks. We've just, since I'm recording these one after the other, survived our little Tentai encounter, and better off for it. You might be asking yourself why I'm starting an episode next to this shady bastard right here. Well, I'll tell you. Because I was rooting through my item assistant a little bit, and I didn't find that much. We do have a couple of items here that I'm going to pick up at level 30, which is getting pretty darn close now, so it'll probably be this episode. We've got some leggings that we're going to upgrade, more armor, more health, bit of lightning damage, good stuff. We're going to switch over to this metal because the one that we have is level 14. This one already has an installed movement skill on it. It's one that I don't like as much as leap, but whatever, we're fine. I'm probably going to replace that vicious jawbone though, because I simply don't need that on this character. Be that as it may, that one's going to go in. It's just better overall. I mean, there's not a ton between these two, but obviously this one's just going to be giving me that LE damage. The acid damage is useless, but the vulnerability is not, because that's points on the curse that I use. Storm Scorched shoulder guards. Yeah, that is the illusion that I'm using, so I'm actually going to use this. These are another one where if you just look at the stats, you're like, well, which is better? Well, honestly, the lightning bolt does more damage. It gives me percent health, that's good. None of the abilities actually work for me, and the fire damage is useless, but the electrocute and the lightning is pretty darn good. So ultimately, that's going to be an upgrade. An extra 80 armor, so 50 or 70 armor, that's good. And then this guy right here, this is the one that we are probably going to go ahead and take right now. And the reason being, it's actually going to kick up my lightning damage a touch. This one has, the one that I have equipped has flat lightning damage. It has a little bit of lightning retaliation. It gives me extra savagery. Savagery I'm not really using. The lightning nova, again, it's pretty low damage. This other one has 18% LE damage, but it also has bleed damage. So it and again, more health, right? Like just health. That's all good. And additional casting speed. So ultimately, these two, you could say whichever. This is just a simple green that I have. But I'm going to take it because I think just right now, we can slap another cracked lodestone on it. And for the stats above that, losing +2 savagery, we don't care. We're not using it. This is going to be better. So we'll take that, toss that back in the bin, toss those back in the bin, and then we'll slap something on this. I don't know if there's any upgrades that we would want to look at. Ether damage? No, not really. I wonder, actually, you know what? One second. One quick second. Let's go over here. And once again, let me fuss. Be right back. And that was worth my time. There is an upgraded version of those little lightning gems that we were using. So this is going to give us additional lightning damage and an empowered lightning nova. So that's the upgraded version of this cracked lodestone. I wasn't 100% sure. I thought there was one that might give me, yeah, this electrifying weapons. Wait a minute. Why wouldn't I use that? What possible reason would I have for using this over that? Wait, what did I just say? Which one was that? Yeah, this one. Okay. Little Hellsbane ammo used in guns, crossbows, and caster offhands. Yeah. So this one's going to get a little update as well, because we have that cracked lodestone on there, and there ain't no reason. All right. So let's go and update that really quickly, and then we'll get on with our adventures here. And I won't pause this because I don't come in here very often and showcase this. Oh, dynamite for science? I'm in.
Of course. I was correct. Just look at these wonderful components.
Okay, basically I think he's setting you up to be able to dismantle items. So it just exchanged dynamite for some salvage. We don't need to worry about that. Okay, so here we go. This one we don't have to worry about because we can slap that on right now. And this one here we're going to replace on this. So let's take this item here. We want to keep the item instead of the add-on. Make sure you make this choice correctly each time. Or you could be a very, very sad little boy. All right, and we're going to use this one over here, and boom, that's a pretty big upgrade that I should have made a long time ago because those are level 20 items. So if we go in here now, I have a second aura that I can deploy, which is this electrifying weapons. There we go, 75% extra damage. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, and on the other one, we have now that amber, which just gives us additional lightning damage. So if we go and look here where we were poking around last episode showing off damage types, we do have a little bit. We're up to 138% bleed damage, which is good for our bloody pox, obviously. And then scrolling down to our lightning damage, 296. We're slowly gaining there. We're slowly gaining. But anyway, let's get back out in the field and use these fancy new items. As you can see, I've reloaded since the last one, so this place is once again under threat by nonsense monsters. I was supposed to meet up online with a buddy of mine. We were going to play a little bit of Elden Ring co-op mod. But he messaged me because I was dicking around recording and I took forever, and so he messaged and said that he was tired and was going to call it for the night, so I'm going to get another episode in the can here. That's another one if you haven't tried. Drop over by Nexus and get the co-op mod for Elden Ring. Honestly, I sort of feel like it's one of those things where, you know, FromSoft does exactly what FromSoft intends to do. They're like wizards in Tolkien, right? But I will say that the way they implemented multiplayer in Elden Ring, in my opinion, was one of the few weaknesses of that game. Right? I mean, you've got the usual FromSoft weaknesses. You know, the camera is going to shaft you every once in a while and stuff. But to me, realistically, it is a masterpiece. And the only thing that I think they just straight up did kind of a shitty job thinking through was going with their usual, you know, tons of barriers multiplayer, because the world was so much bigger. There was so much more to explore. And with the way that they limited you, you know, it's like, okay, well, you can summon somebody in this zone, but then if you actually do kill the boss in the zone and you try to summon somebody, it just won't work, but it won't really tell you. You've got to go Wikipedia it to find out why the hell you can't summon your buddies anymore. Way too frustrating. And quite frankly, I think the one problem so far with the multiplayer mod, I mean, aside from some of the jank, right? Like, I mean, it's a beta mod, so, you know, some stuff is still pretty janky. But one of the only real problems with it is just the difficulty balancing. Like, they are working on scaling it. The modder is you know, working through it, trying to get the scaling right. But that's something that FromSoft could have done. And quite honestly, just having a scenario in the mod where you simply open your world, you have the password set, and then other people can just join your world as wanderers. And you know, when you fast travel, they basically get a chance to, you know, it's like you have to all vote to go to the same places and stuff. But you kill a boss, you just celebrate, high five, keep going, get outside, you both jump on your mounts, high five again because you're having a fucking killer time, and take off and find something else to do. And it's like, it is so much fun. And I think it's just something that FromSoft kind of missed a trick there. I think they really missed a trick, because the other thing about the difficulty is that for people who are still being off-put by the difficulty of it, it's the answer, right? You just have somebody there to help take care of your dumb ass while you're out there exploring things. I can't say enough good things about it, but this is a Grim Dawn video, not an Elden Ring video, so maybe let's do this leveling here. Alright, we'll throw down a little bit more damage to our magic, and as I say, we are leveling towards this. We're getting very close to opening up a little more pox, so let's just carry on doing that. Quick check, no points idling there. You never know, it's me. All right, let's get going. So this area here, this is the old Arcovian ruins, right? So we're actually headed to the Undercity, but in the meantime, we're up here in the ruins of the main city. By the way, this interesting little encounter here, that's basically somebody who is a ghost from old Arcovia. By the way, this is another place that has just some really fucking crazy, cool, and also terrifying lore. But he's looking to finish a job that he had while he was alive, which is killing some of the, you know, like the government officials of this area. So we're going to do that for him. And they're down in the Undercity there. So we'll pick up some kills for him and make a little bit of extra XP as we do it. But in the meantime... Oh, the lightning. I love the lightning. The lightning is good. The lightning feels strong. There are maybe a couple little test points in these tunnels as well that we're about to hit, where we might start to face a little trouble. The final boss is potentially one. He's a heck of a lot easier when you have a pet build, just because when you have his full attention, it can actually be a little bit naughty to try to deal with. We'll see. I mean, this character's really good at kiting, and he's very kiteable, so I think it's going to go okay. See, I should have laid down my totems before I summoned there. Take advantage of the fact that they have a bit of duration. Okay, easily done. Zap that motherfucker, and let's go in here and spend that point. Okay, so we are just completing this one here. So that opens up the Ascendant, the purple nodes for us. So you can see this is all opened up. That is good. Now we might go next into this, but I think what I'll instead do, like I said, is I'll try to find something that I can take that's useful that gives me a blue point. We'll see if it happens. It may or may not. We'll find out. No big deal, no big rush. And once again, I won't subject you guys to that. Oh, what do we have here? All right, so we got ourselves another of the spirit totems, monster totems. And this one again is another one where you know what you're going to get. And what you're going to get here is a situation where enemies will have the bone cage ability. It's just one. Keep your wits about you. Stay out from the center of combat because you will get tied down, and that could cause you problems. Overall, it is not very threatening. It's probably fine. We've got a couple totems down already, but like I say, just keep your distance a little bit, and that way you're see, I'm tied down right now, and he tied me down in an acid pit. So tied down again, but like I say, I was just staying on the outskirts there. As long as you know what's coming, you can kind of defend yourself from it a little bit better. Let's see what we got here. I think if I was going a little bit more into, well, no, okay. So this is all acid. I had kind of remembered that this was maybe blood and acid, but not so much. Okay, and these again. If I was focusing mainly on bloody pox, I might consider these. Good move speed, good health, and a bit of bleed damage. But as it is, this stuff is just for the stockpile. I'm not going to need it. But what you can see up ahead of me here is... Huh, I don't think I ever saw that before. Coming here at night has actually helped. Okay, you can see there's more of the map here. I'm not going to bother. Once again, we are trying to push our way through this content. To unlock elite and really get the leveling going with the character. So we're just going to push ahead. We're now not very... Oh, look at that. Totem's doing some work. Like I say, I'm a big fan of leaving damage behind and letting it do some work for me. All right, so let's get into the Undercity here and push through to level 30, and then we'll probably head back and we'll get those new pieces of gear that I want on. And in the meantime, this place here has good pack size, lots of enemies. This is the spot here where you start to realize how much trouble you're in if you have just bloody pox. and you don't have any sort of direct damage or group clearing damage. Because nobody in here gives a shit about Bloody Pox. Like, it can kill them, but here, let me show you what I mean. So we can curse them up and cast Bloody Pox. Well, actually, I've got, like, lightning going off it all. But you can see how restricted we are for damage there. It's a bad thing. And I'm such a fan of Bloody Pox just because of my laziness and the fact that I like to stand back and sort of watch things melt. That I've more than once come in here and being turned into sadness. A sadness avatar. But not today, motherfuckers. Today, it's lightning totem time. Collect another forgotten passage. This is a quest that we were given by one of the rovers, I believe, to sort of gather some of the ancient lore of this place. I don't know if I've talked about it before, but the lore of this place, just to randomly summarize what I remember of it, that Colosseum content, which I think was added on at some point, rather like not too terribly long ago, but I don't really know. But it kind of fills in even a little bit more of the lore from this area. And it's pretty fucking alarming. So it's basically like these guys are, I think it was Ouroboros, I think. Like one of the necromancers. Basically they, you know, he was undying, right? Like had some kind of immortality going on, and sort of the lords of this place, which was this big powerful, you know, city state or whatever, they captured him to sort of like figure out how he was doing his immortality. So they captured him and they tortured him and like, you're gonna give us the secret to eternal life and all that. And so you know, he basically was obviously, you know, I don't know why people in books and movies always think that like torturing information like that out of someone, where like, you know, tell us how to do this arcane ritual to give ourselves eternal life is gonna work when you've just been like shoving bamboo splinters in someone's dick. But anyway, he acted appropriately and fucked them. And basically what he did is he gave them the ritual, but when they tried to do it, the unlife that they actually got cursed the entire city. And basically they could die, they just couldn't, you know, they just turned into undead. But essentially they kind of retained their memories and stuff. And so you can read these accounts of people who have died and are just discovering how fun it is to like live as a rotting corpse and to slowly rot away. And there's there's like the you know, like just the concept that they could still feel and everything like that. Like one of the notes that's in the Colosseum thing is basically, you know, when they were realizing in the early days of realizing that they had the curse. This is an exit through the mountain here, but we're actually going to go downstairs further to do the quest that we picked up from that ghost outside. But so in the early days of the curse, you know, they're watching these gladiatorial games, and they watch this fighter in the ring get disemboweled and just, you know, be there screaming and not die, you know, and then the guy like cuts his head off and he's just flopping around and not dying and like screaming, and the head is screaming. They're like, that's abnormal. And then all of their children were being born as these horrible mutants, which end up being the harpies that occupy the hills that you'll see on the other side. Not a good turnout. The moral of the story is don't capture some alchemist or like necromancer and try to torture their secrets out of them. They're not going to give you secrets that you want to deal with. I'm sure that'll come in very handy for you in life. All right, so we'll throw a little physique in here. We'll level up. We are just about to get up to wasting, which is going to give our a little bit more punch to our bloody pox. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to invest a little bit here as well. Once we get this, we'll kind of unlock it. We'll unlock this, and we'll maybe put some points in here. We'll see how it goes. As I say, at this level, you know, you're leveling so fast, you'll just get to pump a lot of points in real fast. But we do have a couple more levels to go down, so we're probably going to just start dropping off. Oh, Right, I could go back to town and re-equip as well. I'll tell you what, let's get to the stairwell here, and then we'll do that. We'll just tidy stuff up as we go. This is where I'm glad I've added a little bit of armor. Don't underestimate, like, when you're running around as a glass cannon, you know, wearing your little mage bathrobe, those salvos of crossbow bolts from these guys can actually cause you a whole fuck ton of trouble. Okay, we ate a little bit of damage there. It's not too bad though, and we'll just get the Wendigo totem down, get a little bit of healing ticks up. Alright, never mind, potion. Alright. Running straight through here. You can see there's our quest marker up ahead. So we'll just leave these guys with some damage and then... Son of a bitch. I said we'll leave these guys with some damage and then just kind of keep moving. Stay on the path here. I figure I can sort of perfectly wrap this episode up and maybe do the re-gearing at the beginning of the next episode or the end of this one. If I just kind of keep going and don't dither around trying to clear everything. I am going to do some of these little spawns here just because there's chances of drops, but primarily they're also sweet, juicy XP. Well, in this case, they're crunchy XP, but whatever. It works either way. Okay, this guy's probably going to be a little bit of a hassle. Not so much that I'm worried about him killing me, but just that, yeah, you can see he's kind of eating a lot of lightning bolts. At least it really clearly telegraphs what the enemies are going to be. You know, this guy again. Not too bad. Could be worse. Okay, let's leave them with some damage and move on. Same again. Let's hop through that mass. Light them up. You can generally get away with this because almost you'll pretty much never have like a, you know, you're not going to be leaving a legendary that drops from trash mobs behind. So you can just kind of run through here if you want, and kind of be a little bit more time efficient, especially with a build like this. You know, melee build, sometimes you have to stay around to kill everything. This build, you certainly don't. Oh, hello. There we go. We got another totem. We're doing actually pretty good. This character's picking up a lot of them. Gonna have to potion right there. Alright, let's take advantage of the fact that we already have totems out and just get this one going. Our potion has cooled down, so we're relatively safe here, and we still have to remember we do have that ether shard. I'm gonna potion. Once again, these large bone guys, they're the ones who are occasionally dropping those bone cages on me. See, here's a weapon that's actually pretty nice for lightning build, but realistically, this is a primal strike weapon. There's just nothing that's going to compete with that the effigy that I have in terms of being accurate for this build. So we won't even worry about that. That's a secret, by the way. It just got popped by an AoE at some point there, so don't miss that one on your way through. I used to miss that a lot. Didn't find that one for a while. Okay, let's nuke him up. Okay, we got a little elite here to deal with. I believe this guy's ranged as well, so he's going to hang back. Fortunately, we've got tons of reach. Okay, let's get him specifically poxed up. These undead are a little bit, I wanna, if he wants to kite me, I want him to kite back towards my totems. Just to keep more of my damage in range. Okay, he didn't really have much going on there. Yeah, boy, I'm really feeling that group clear. It's quite nice. Okay, here we go, next level. spawn some guys. We may as well wrap some kills up here. No sense leaving this walking XP around. There we go. Okay, now I did say we were going to go back and re-equip. I lied. We're not going to. I'm going to push forward. Like I say, I might do it at the end of the episode. We'll see. All right, so here we are. We're at the boss right now. This boss, he is dangerous to those folks with a lack of attention span. And you'll see why when I get in there. He's got a couple of things you don't want to get hit by. One of them is a ground effect that you don't want to stand in. And the other is a ranged attack that you don't want to get tagged by. Or at least if you do, you want to be ready with a bit of healing just in case. All right, so this is not him. But I do know that we're going to spawn some enemies here in the corner. So let's just go ahead and try to clear that out. Because obviously this can be bad. Like if I'm trying to kite away because he's tapped me up. I don't want these guys coming up, right? Just sort of last hitting me. Okay. So, see that? See, he launched that sort of high velocity dart. That has a damage over time effect that's actually quite powerful sometimes. I'm not 100% sure. I think, okay, he tagged me with it. Okay, it's not doing too bad. I think we're good. I'm just going to potion. I'm just going to get a... Because potions kind of give you a little healing there, so... I just didn't want to get too cocky. Oh, look at what we got here. That is an upgrade. Yeah, I'm gonna call that an upgrade. I think the only potential thing, we'll just take a quick look at what I'm getting from Heart of the Wild, or if I even am spec'd into it yet. I think I am, so we would lose 2 ranks on that, but it's probably still going to be something I'll take. Okay, so boss cleared. We're going to do a quick run back. We're going to get to the next waypoint, and then we're going to go from there back to town. We'll do some gearing, and then we're going to call it. So just outside the door here is where I want to be now. So this is the one that we bypassed earlier, going to bring us to the Broken Hills. I remember I was talking about how these people... So this is yet another sort of haunted Arcovian resident. And basically this brings up the curse that their children suffered. So when their children were born, they became harpies. And so I think daughters became harpies. I'm not sure if the males became like maybe ghouls or something. I don't really remember. But anyway, he wants us to hunt down his daughter and destroy her because, you know, she's living this cursed existence. But we're going to do that because she's also stuffed full of XP. But in the meantime, we're going to head back, do our gearing, and then call it an episode. So this is actually working out really well for timing. It's almost like I planned this, but I actually don't. But it's similar to that. So let's head over here. We actually ended up grabbing those, what was it? These gauntlets. Yeah, these inscribed bracers. All right, so the Heart of the Wild is this guy right here. You can see we have 1 point in it. It is giving us % health. So we are going to sack off a little bit of health by changing these gauntlets. But I'm still going to do it. You know, it still makes sense to me to do that. Just because we want that lightning damage. So let's get our gear. So we're going to have new shoulders. We are going to use these. They're level 35. So we'll just stow them over here. Well, fuck it. We'll stow them over here just in case we die. We don't lose it. We're going to toss this stuff in here. So let's clear our inventory of stuff we want to keep. Corruption Relic, we already have it. We'll sell that. You can see here we've maxed our stacks of healing potions, so we're going to start selling those as well. Good on me for sorting and then resort. Idiot. I live like this all the time. Can you believe that? Oh, lore. Yeah, there we go. Last days of Arcovia. Okay, so now let's get these equipped. So it looks like on the pants that we're wearing right now, we just have a little bit of armor plate. So that gives me more armor and armor absorption. Don't underestimate that. But let's see if we have anything else that makes more sense. Oh, we don't even have to illusion those. That's nice. All right. That ancient armor plate is still a pretty good call as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw that on there again. Just get that armor absorption a little bit higher. And now, oh, for fuck's sake, did you see what I just did there? I tossed that medallion back in, I think. Oh no, I didn't. Okay, I'm not as dumb as I thought. Good. All right. So we're gonna add this metal as well. Actually, we're gonna run down. We're gonna change the add-on. Vicious Jawbone, no good for this character.
I can't do that yet.
Need something broken down?
All right. Keep the item. It'll destroy the attached component. Okay. So we actually, what you saw happen right there is we actually lost the rift tear as well. And that does not break my heart because we're going to bust down here and we're going to get ourselves another leap, which I prefer. I believe that we are shopping. Where are we shopping? I think we're shopping with Bismil, aren't we? Can't remember. Well, it's not Soliel and it wouldn't be Dreeg because we're not doing a poison build, so it's got to be Bismil.
See anything you like?
Yeah, here we go. All right, that's what we want. All right, so we're going to throw that metal on. I don't like how it looks. We're going to have to illusion that. And then we'll pop that on there. And then we're going to head over to the stash and see what we should throw on there for add-ons.
Got something you need stashed?
Now, previously, we had just a little bit of corpse dust on there for some % health. I don't know if there's going to be anything that we want more on there. A little bit of vitality resistance and energy leech resistance. Energy leech resist can be nice. You know, you don't find yourself suddenly out of gas in a fight. The corpse dust, though, is still % health. And if you think about it, we did just lose some... well, we are going to lose some health when we change over this one, right? Because we'll lose those Heart of the Wild ranks. So I might... I don't know. It's just such a small bonus. I'm not sure that I really want that. Like, what do we have here? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. That's just way better. It's just way better. I don't even know what I'm thinking. All right. So there we go. So we got our movement skill back. We got a better metal. Look at that. We don't even have to illusion that one. It is the illusion we were using. So we got these Storm Scorched shoulder guards. Now, obviously, they're tilted towards fire a little bit here, but we can ignore that. They give us that awesome lightning bolt 30% chance when hit. That's actually dishing out a reasonable amount of damage for us because of you know, how we've laid out our damage. So I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go ahead and stow what we were using, and then let's decide what we want to wear on this armor. And yeah, there's nothing super special here. You know, again, we could go with this. It just gives me a chunk of health. And I think, honestly, at this point, let's do it. Right? Because we are pretty low health. We don't have a ton. But if you will look at this, that resist block is starting to get a hell of a lot more balance than it was. Because remember, we were last session, starting that session at 0% piercing resist. And we had about 15% or so bleed resist. So we are starting to drag these resists up, especially piercing, which is pretty good. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and call it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I see you again next time.